I'm Norm.
I'm Lily.
And this is our St. Joe's story. We've been house parents for 8 years.
Finishing our 8th year.
In the high school program. We're currently 6 days into Shea Home High School boys. We've worked with both boys and girls. I first heard of St. Joseph's helping my grandmother go through some mail and her finances, things that she was taking care of. And Grandma had envelopes spread all over her table, and among those were several St. Joseph's as well as other organizations. And I asked Grandma, I said, "Why are you doing this?" She says, "Because they need my help." There's a story about starfish on the beach, and there's a child that is trying to throw them back in the water as the tide pushes them back out onto the shore. And unless a tide happens to bring them back in, they'll die on the shore. So the little child is throwing them back in, and an adult comes along and asks, "Why are you doing this?" He says, to help them. He says, "But you can't save them all." And the child reaches down and throws another one back in the ocean, "But I helped that one." So I first heard of St. Joseph's when I was with my grandmother, and she may not have ever heard that story, but she had envelopes on her table and she was putting money and sending to St. Joseph's. And I said, "Grandma, you can't help all those children." And she puts another dollar bill in the envelope and says, "But I helped that one." So Grandma may never have heard that story, but she had the heart and the desire to make a difference. And when we found out about St. Joseph's and the opportunity to come here, we were happy to do so.
I believe that when you come into this world, God has given you a gift and a talent. And I believe that God gave me the gift of service, and also of He blessed Norm and I with 4 daughters, and to be a mother. And with our daughters grown and raised now, I still feel that I have more parenting and mothering to give. And with St. Joseph being brought to our attention, and we felt this was a great opportunity to come and be the parent to these students.
When we first came here, we saw on the walls in the hallway at St. Joseph's, train up a child in the way they should go. And that is our belief. We are people of faith, and we appreciate St. Joseph's mission and be able to integrate faith and the culture of the Lakota children that we work with. St. Joseph's offers that opportunity to blend their culture along with the teachings that we follow in faith, and taking the best of both of those. In any culture, the best of any culture is training up a child and in the way they should go. Teaching is also another word that's used for that. So they are making the decisions, they're making the choices. We are just helping them, encouraging them, and hopefully teaching them to make better choices for themselves. So whether it be their own families and their own homes in the future, and one thing we've always encouraged our students, come back and do this job. So if they're able to care for students of their own culture, who could do it better than a child that's been here as a parent and adult that's learned to do things by other people who love and care about them. I'm Norm.
And I'm Lily.
And this is our St. Joe's story.